From your morning coffee to your phone bill, have you ever just stopped and wondered, who decides that price? Well, today we're going to dive into the hidden world of microeconomics. Think of it as the secret rulebook that explains how all those decisions get made.
I mean, really think about it. It seems kind of random, right? A flight ticket is one price on a Tuesday and a totally different price on a Friday. What gives? Well, I promise you, these aren't just random numbers pulled out of a hat. There is a hidden logic at play, a constant push and pull that sets the price of pretty much everything. And by the time we're done here, you are going to see exactly what's going on behind the curtain. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to change our perspective. Instead of looking at the big picture of, national economies and all that stuff, we're going to zoom way in. We're putting the world under a lens. And that, my friends, is what microeconomics is all about. It's the bottom-up approach. So for just a minute, let's forget about big things like GDP and inflation. Instead, we're going to put a magnifying glass on the individual players. That means you, me, the coffee shop on the corner, that giant tech company. It all comes down to their choices. A really great way to picture this is thinking about the forest versus the trees. Macroeconomics, that's the whole forest. It's that 30,000-foot view. But microeconomics, that's where we get right up close and look at the individual trees. So yeah, today we are all about the trees. So who are the main characters in this whole economic story? Well, it really boils down to two key players, two opposing forces that are always interacting. On one side, there's you, the consumer. And on the other side, there's them, the businesses. And right here, this is the fundamental tension. As a consumer, what's your goal? It's to maximize your own happiness, right? Your satisfaction. Economists have a fancy word for this: utility. Basically, you want the most bang for your buck. But businesses, they're driven by a totally different goal: maximizing their profit. For them, every decision comes down to a simple calculation of costs versus revenue. Now, your behavior as a consumer follows a really simple, super intuitive rule. It's called the law of demand. And just think about it for a sec. When something you like goes on sale, what do? You're way more likely to buy it, right? Maybe even buy more of it. So when the price falls, the amount we want to buy, the quantity demanded, goes up. Pretty simple. But businesses, they operate on the complete opposite logic. That's the law of supply. When they can sell something for a higher price, they're way more motivated to make and sell more of it. Why? To capture those bigger profits, of course. So how in the world do these two totally opposite forces find a middle ground? All right, so we've got this scene set up, right? We have consumers pulling prices down and businesses pushing them up. These two forces just clash in the marketplace. Then what happens when the price isn't quite right? Well, that's where things get really fascinating. So what happens if a price is set way too low? You get a shortage. You've seen this. This is that frenzy for concert tickets or the latest smartphone release. Everyone wants one because the price is such a steal, but there just aren't enough to go around. Demand completely blows past the supply. And of course, the exact opposite happens when a price is too high. You get a surplus. This is when businesses produce a whole bunch of something, expecting to make big profits, but we, the consumers, look at that price tag and go, no thanks. And what's the result? Piles of stuff just sitting on shelves waiting for a clearance sale. So here's the really cool part. The market is always trying to correct itself. It's pushing and pulling away from those shortages and surpluses. It's constantly searching for this perfect sweet spot called market equilibrium. This is that magic price where the amount of stuff people want to buy exactly matches the amount of stuff businesses want to sell. It's like Adam Smith's famous invisible hand is guiding everything to this perfect point of balance. Now, of course, it's not quite that simple. Not all markets are created equal. The way businesses compete and how they set their prices, it depends a lot on the structure of their market. And there are basically 4 main flavors of competition you really ought to know. Let's break them down. First, you've got perfect competition. Think about something like wheat farmers. There are so many sellers of the exact same product that no single one can control the price. That's awesome for us as consumers. Then there's monopolistic competition. My favorite example is restaurants. They all sell food, but they compete by being different. Different cuisine, different vibe. Next up is an oligopoly. This is where just a few big companies dominate everything. Think about your mobile service providers. This can lead to some intense price wars, or, not so great for us, price fixing. And finally, you've got a monopoly. One single seller has all the power. Think about your local utility company. That often means higher prices and fewer choices for you and me. Okay, so now that we've got the basic framework down, let's arm you with a few really powerful concepts from the microeconomic toolkit. Seriously, these are ideas you can use to start analyzing business decisions and even your own choices. First up, price elasticity. This one is an absolute game changer. It basically asks a simple question. If you change your price, how much do your customers freak out? If you hike the price of your coffee and suddenly everyone switches to tea, your demand is elastic. It's sensitive. But if you raise the price of, say, a life-saving medicine and people have no choice but to buy it anyway, that demand is inelastic. Okay, next up is a really big one, opportunity cost. This applies to everything in life. Every single time you make a choice, you are, by definition, giving up the chance to do something else. The value of that next best thing you didn't do, that is the opportunity cost. So choosing to spend an hour binge watching a show means you gave up spending that same hour at the gym or reading a book. It is the hidden cost of every single decision we make. Now, this next piece of advice might just be the most important role in business, and maybe even in life. And it's this: ignore sunk costs. What are sunk costs? It's money or time that you've already spent and you can never, ever get back. It's gone. The trap is letting that loss cloud your judgment about what to do next. The smart move is to forget what's gone and instead focus on the margin. And that is exactly where marginal analysis comes in. This is how you actually apply that rule. It's the simple, powerful practice of always asking, what is the benefit and what is the cost of doing just one more? For example, should we hire one more employee? Well, only if the value they bring in is greater than what we have to pay them. Should we make one more product? Only if the money we get from selling it is more than what it cost us to make. It's all about that next step. So when you put it all together, what's the big takeaway? It's that microeconomics is kind of like the hidden operating system of our daily lives. Every single price tag you see is a signal, a piece of information about scarcity and value. And every choice a business makes is a calculated response to those signals. It's not just random chaos out there, it's a system. And microeconomics, well, it gives you the tools to finally understand the logic of that system. And all of this leaves us with one final big question to chew on. In the world we live in today, what do you think really drives most of our decisions as consumers? Is it just the raw calculation of price? Or is it something more complex, something like value and quality? It's definitely something to think about the next time you're about to buy something. Hey, thanks for digging into all this with me.